Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here today. In this session, we're going to focus on an absolutely crucial business English skill, mastering the art of professional feedback. My goal today is to bring you clear, polite, and, most importantly, easy expressions that you can start using right away at work. Because whether you're a manager leading a team or you're navigating your first few weeks on the job, knowing exactly what to say and how to say it is basically an office superpower. Okay, let's dive into this. We've got our roadmap right here. We'll cover why feedback matters, hit some core workplace vocabulary, talk about giving feedback professionally, receiving and asking for it, look at a real-world example, and finally go over what not to say. We'll be breaking down real-world examples to make these expressions crystal clear. Section 1. Why feedback matters. Look, let's be totally honest for a second. Giving or getting feedback, it can be pretty intimidating. It kind of makes your heart beat a little faster, right? But the truth is, feedback is the absolute engine for professional growth. Without it, we don't know what we're doing well, and we definitely don't know how to improve. I want you to take a moment and think about this right now. Have you ever received feedback at work? Think back to how it made you feel. And if you had to choose, do you prefer positive feedback that praises you or constructive feedback that tells you how to get better? I mean, obviously most of us love hearing good things, but mastering both types of conversations, that is what truly accelerates your career. Keep your own past experiences in mind as we move forward. Section 2, Core Workplace Vocabulary. Before we start building full sentences and jumping into office conversations, we really need to build our toolkit. We're going to master some very easy, essential vocabulary words that you will hear in almost every modern workplace. The very first term we absolutely must understand is constructive feedback. This simply means helpful suggestions for improvement. The key word here is helpful. Constructive feedback is not about being mean, and it's certainly not about criticizing someone just to make them feel bad. No way. It is a tool designed specifically to help colleagues build their skills and get better at their jobs. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the language we choose really matters. We all know our strengths, the things we naturally do well, but instead of pointing out someone's weaknesses, professional business English uses the phrase areas for improvement. See how that works? It's a much softer, way more polite, and incredibly positive term that keeps the door wide open for growth. Finally, we have the word performance, which just covers how well someone works overall. Let's look at a few more essential terms used for evaluation. We have meet expectations, which basically means you achieved the exact required standard for your job. You did what was asked, and you did it well. But if you completely knock it out of the park and do even better than that, you exceed expectations, performing way better than expected. And finally, professional development, which is the ongoing, lifelong process of improving your work skills. These are your clear professional benchmarks of success. When you hear these words in a meeting, you instantly know exactly where you stand. Section 3. Giving feedback professionally. All right, now that our vocabulary toolkit is packed and ready, let's jump into the actual everyday phrases you can use. And we'll start with everyone's favorite, giving positive praise. Just take a look at these examples. Great job on the presentation. I really liked how you handled the client. Your communication was very clear. I appreciate your hard work. Do you see what makes these sentences so brilliant? It's how incredibly short and simple they are. You literally don't need complicated vocabulary to make someone feel valued. These easy language sentences are authentic, direct, and absolutely perfect for everyday workplace encouragement. But what happens when you actually need to correct someone? Try these phrases for giving constructive feedback. I think there's room for improvement. One thing you could work on is, it might help if you, or next time try to. Notice the contrast here. Instead of being direct and forceful, these phrases politely soften the blow. By using gentle words like might or could, you're offering a helpful suggestion without making the other person feel attacked or defensive. Section 4. Receiving and asking. Communication, of course, is a two-way street. Giving feedback is only half the battle. Being able to actually listen to constructive feedback without putting up walls is a vital skill that managers actively look for in top employees. When someone offers you feedback, especially when it's unexpected, having polite, defense-free phrases ready to go is an absolute lifesaver. Things like, "Thank you for your feedback. I appreciate your honesty. That's helpful to know. I'll definitely work on that." Or, "I'll keep that in mind." Memorizing just a couple of these polite phrases can save you a ton of stress. When your heart rate spikes during a nerve-wracking performance review, you can rely on these easy scripts to show that you are mature, professional, and entirely open to growth. And hey, you shouldn't just wait around for someone to evaluate you. Be proactive. You can ask your manager for feedback using these really simple questions. Could you give me some feedback? How do you think I did? Is there anything I could improve? Or what would you suggest? These are fantastic because they are completely non-intimidating. They naturally invite conversation and show your boss that you are genuinely invested in your own professional development. Section 5. Real-world example. Okay, we've looked at the individual pieces, but now let's see how they fit together in a standard dialogue. Let's put these easy expressions into action. Imagine a manager sitting down for a quick check-in. The manager says, "Overall, you've been doing a great job. Your reports are always accurate. One area you could improve is responding to emails more quickly." This brilliantly illustrates how to combine positive feedback with clear, constructive advice. The manager starts strong with "doing a great job," and then smoothly transitions using our core vocabulary phrase, "one area you can improve is." It's incredibly clear, polite, and deeply supportive. Now look at how the employee responds to this constructive note. "I understand. I'll make that a priority. Thanks for the feedback. I'll work on it." Guys, this is textbook perfect. The employee doesn't get defensive at all. They don't make excuses about their inbox being too full or the office being too crazy. They simply use those ready-to-go receiving expressions to stay entirely professional and focused on their own improvement. Section 6. What not to say. We've covered a lot of great things to say today, but we need to end with a language-focused pro tip. I have to warn you about the ultimate communication breakdown in the workplace, being way too blunt. So, the crucial point is this. Telling a coworker you're wrong is a massive trap. It instantly shuts down the conversation and creates immediate conflict. Instead, try saying, "I see your point, but," or "another approach might be." These phrases allow you to disagree while keeping things entirely professional. You are politely acknowledging their idea first before calmly offering your own perspective. Here are 2 more excellent alternatives to just shutting someone down. You can ask, "Perhaps we could," or "Have you considered?" By framing your disagreement as a gentle question, you invite the other person into a collaboration rather than a fight. It completely changes the tone from a harsh argument into a productive, team-building conversation that moves everyone forward. We've covered a lot of ground today, from polite ways to offer praise to the perfect phrases for softening a disagreement. So I want to leave you with a challenge and really think about this. Which of these professional phrases will you use in your workplace tomorrow? Now, don't try to memorize the whole shebang at once. Just pick 1 or 2 of these easy expressions, write them down on a sticky note, and use them to immediately elevate your business English communication. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I literally can't wait to see how your professional development progresses.